Our Video Fright Fest returns to Cineworld Leicester Square from the 26th to the 30th of August 2021. The annual Scarefest will showcase 60 new movies, all of which embrace the darker heart of cinema. Split across 3 screens, it can sometimes be a bit of a mental minefield trying to work out and schedule exactly what you're going to watch. Fortunately, I've been lucky enough to get some advanced copies of some of this year's selection and have devised a few of my favourites for those of you that are still feeling a little bit indecisive. First up, we have Coming Home in the Dark. Now, the film also featured on our list of Watch to Catch at Fantasia International Film Festival. However, at the time of writing that list, we hadn't actually seen the film and were purely going off of how passionately actor Daniel Gillis was about the project when we spoke to him for his other film, Occupation Rainfall. Since then, I've been lucky enough to see the film, and I can confirm that this absolutely must be on your Fright Fest watch list if you like your Fright Fest films dark and intense. Based on a short story by Owen Marshall, Coming Home in the Dark is the first feature from New Zealand director James Ashcroft, and boy is he starting things off with a bang. The story sees a family taken hostage by 2 drifters, and as they are driven back to their house, so the drifters can rob them, the 2 factions realise that they share a common past. And as old scars begin to surface, revenge and retribution set in, and a battle to survive ensues. Perfectly paced and phenomenally acted, Coming Home in the Dark is bleak and brutal, enveloped in dread and violence. In short, it's a remarkable viewing experience that will leave you breathless and absolutely must be seen on the big screen. For our second pick, mix American Psycho and Saw together, and you wouldn't be far off of the journey that Alex Noyer takes the viewer on in his film Sound of Violence. The movie explores the phenomena of synesthesia, joining Alexis, a formerly deaf young aspiring musician who after a traumatic childhood experience found herself with the ability to see sounds. And she can't see all noises, just those that are achieved through extreme pain and violence. And after fearing that her hearing may be about to disappear forever, she intensifies her life goal of creating the perfect piece of music, cue lots and lots of vicious carnage. Now, the idea for this film began as a short film, but given its limited runtime focused primarily on the spectacle. Now though, having expanded the concept to full-blown feature, Noyer has been able to explore his antagonist-protagonist in greater detail, creating a blisteringly violent but exceptionally absorbing film that far outclasses its source. You'll need a strong stomach and set of ears to make it through Sound of Violence intact. Wondering why you should watch Prisoners of the Ghostland? Well, I've got 2 words for you, Nick and Cage, which means it's obviously a must-watch. Better still, it's screening during the Saturday night prime time slot, and I just can't think of a more beautiful way to spend an evening. Cage himself has gone on record as saying this is one of the most insane projects that he's ever worked on, and if you're familiar with the actor's background, you'll understand what a bold statement that is. Directed by Sion Sono, Prisoners of the Ghostland will see Cage do battle with ghosts, ninjas and samurai as he tries to track down the missing granddaughter of the local governor. It's going to be epic. In recent years, Triple Threat writer, director and actor Graham Skipper has become a firm friend of Fright Fest. Since his appearance in Jackson Stewart's Beyond the Gates at Fright Fest 2016, Skipper has become a regular fixture. This year, he stars in Mel Hauser's Mystery Spot, a mind-bending and captivating slice of science fiction-laced drama. A film best left to experience rather than know too much about ahead of time, the story revolves around the titular Mystery Spot and its hold on the people staying in the nearby hotel. In Mystery Spot, Skipper is allowed to get a little more serious than we've seen him before, and the movie has the added highlight of also starring Nightmare on Elm Street alum Lisa Wilcox. Our final pick, The Sadness, is going to require a lot of resolve to endure. The Taiwanese set and spoken movie from first-time Canadian director Rob Jabez is going to divide Fright Fest attendees. The directorial debut has the prestige of being the closing film of the 5-day Scarefest, and with it playing against no competition, if you're a Fright Fest pass holder, you really do have no excuse to miss out on this one. Warning, The Sadness is not an easy watch. It's a truly extreme movie that comes with pretty much the full set of trigger warnings, and as such, it will alienate a portion of the audience and make more still shift uncomfortably in their seats. The story takes place in an alternate version of Taiwan in the midst of a pandemic. After a mutation of that virus causes the afflicted to enact fantasies, both violent and sexual in nature, a young couple must battle their way across the city to find each other. Good or bad, one thing is for certain, The Sadness will be the film at the festival that everyone will be talking about. If you still need to buy a weekend pass, or if you just fancy buying a couple of tickets to some of the films that we've discussed, head over to www.frightfest.co.uk for more ticketing information. And don't forget, keep an eye on www.thehollywoodnews.com and over on our Twitter page at THNcom during the festival for all of the latest reviews.